All right, hello and welcome to part 6 of my Apple v Epic series. I hope you've enjoyed the videos. I hope you've enjoyed the video in the description, which is from Greg's Gadgets. Subscribe to his channel too. Subscribe to this channel. Thank you to those who have. Thank you to everybody who has watched. Shout out to later clips as well. Lou Later, who I hope I'm pronouncing his name, makes these clips as well. So this is part 6 of my series. I want to try and make Epic's argument. Okay, so this is what it's going to be. It's called Making Epic's Argument. So let's make the argument for Epic and other third-party developers, Spotify and any others, right? They are arguing a couple things. Well, we think that Apple's 30% is too much. It's too high. They need to take it down. Honestly, we can't pay that. Well, if you're Epic and you're making billions of dollars off the app, I don't think that excuse is very valid. Now, here's the deal. They argue a couple things. Well, maybe since Epic is one of Apple's biggest developers, and it's one of the biggest developers in the world, and it has a highly popular, radically popular game, and it has a lot of users, and we bring in billions of dollars to the App Store, maybe you should cut us a special deal. Or maybe for all the big developers, you should cut us a special deal. Or maybe if we do have to pay for that, then you give smaller developers a smaller deal. You know, you take a smaller cut from their profits. Or you can argue maybe you should have the same rule going across the board. Small developer like me and you, or if you're a big techie yourself, hey, and you're making a giant app, you could have it for Epic and Google and everybody else that makes an app for the App Store. You could argue that. You could also argue that Apple should cut down their cost if you're going to make it the same across the board. Maybe instead of a 30%, maybe a 50%. A 15%. I was about to say a 50% reduction. So you could go down to 15%. And yeah, that wouldn't work out so hot for anybody. Or maybe you think Apple should go down to a 10%, maybe even 20%. You think, hey, you know what? It just needs to go down. Or maybe you could argue the same thing that maybe Epic could argue, which is you should let us install apps on a website like you can on the Mac, bypassing the App Store and keeping the 100% of the profits, which is, to expand that argument is, hey, if you let us bypass the App Store and then we get to, how do I put this? We get to lower our price, therefore consumers get to pay less. We pass on the savings on to you, the consumers, because now we don't have to share with Apple. That's essentially two of the arguments that they are making. Now, in my next video, I'm going to talk about why that's not even enough for Epic. That actually, they couldn't even live with that. My problem with this here is, this is an industry norm that Google Play Store, which is ending, Linux, Windows, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Android, they're all taking 30%. So if you're going to ask them to take down their revenue, I doubt they're going to do it. That's why I don't think this is actually going to work for them. And I don't know. But that's just a couple arguments you could make on Epic's behalf.